Hey there, friends. Happy Tuesday. Hope you are all doing well. Hello. I see so many of you are already here. Terry, Mary, Kay, Risa, and Jen. Hello. Good afternoon. All right. I'm just waiting for this to come on up so I know that we are good and live. Hey, Etienne. I see you here too. Jen, you guys rock. How's everybody's Tuesday going? How's everybody's Monday going? Oh, here we go. Hello. Hi. I don't know how much of that, I don't know how much like before my screen pops on, how like much I'm on. Who knows? I don't know. It's always the beginning of live videos is always a little awkward because you're like, I don't know if I'm actually recording right now or not, but hello. Hey guys. Hey everyone. How are y'all doing today? Hope your Tuesday is going well. We are having a pretty good week so far. We are back to like some kind of normal here. The kids went, Izzy went to school yesterday. She's at school right now. And then Jonah went to our family friend yesterday and he's with my mom today. So 2 days without the kids is like, oh man, it's like a ointment to my soul. Like, God, I needed that so bad. Anyway, I'm sure you might be able to relate. Maybe not. I don't know. But for me, I need time without my kids sometimes in order to feel like a sane person. So we're back to feeling a little sane around here. Yes, I love Christmas sweaters. If you guys didn't know, I love Christmas sweaters and I collect them. So it's actually funny. I was taking pictures earlier today because I thought that story 8 this week was going to be about Christmas collections, but it's actually not until next week that I'll be documenting that. So whoops. So I took a bunch of pictures of things that I collect related to Christmas. And one of those things is like Christmas ugly sweaters. I love them. I think I have 4 right now. 4. Yeah, 4. And every year I get a new one. So it just keeps building. So this was last year. I got this one. It says, I believe in Santa and unicorns. And it's just fun. I actually found it at Michael's after Christmas was over and it was like $5. So I picked it up in like a super, I think it's like really big. It might be like extra large. Because I like my sweaters to be like dresses and just be huge. And so that's what I do. Anyway, so that's my sweater. Ointment to the soul. It really is. Oh, funny story this morning before I turn you around and we get to work. So funny story about this morning. We woke up and nobody wanted to get out of bed because our house was freezing. Like we usually put our fans on always, like even in the winter, but there's like if you switch the way that the fan blades are moving, it actually takes the cold air up versus pushing it down in the wintertime. So we just run our fans all year round. So we woke up, it was freezing cold this morning and we're like, what the heck? Like it shouldn't be this cold from our fan being on. Something is not right. So Erin went downstairs and found out that our smart home thermostat, we have a Google Nest thermostat, for whatever reason thought that we weren't home anymore and turned off. So our heat turned off in the middle of the night and it was like 58 degrees in our house this morning, Fahrenheit, if, depending on what measurement of temperature you use. And, yeah, very cold. So it's 58 degrees in our house. We're all freezing. We, I took a hot shower just to warm up. Plus I needed a shower. So I took a shower and the kids got dressed and then they went and they ate their breakfast next to the fireplace with the fireplace on. It was like ridiculous. And I thought to myself, like, if I was doing a project that wasn't planned and if I was just like looking for a story in a day, that would totally have been my story today. Would have been about waking up and being cold. And I totally would have done the title, Baby, It's Cold Inside. So I don't know. It's just a thought. Maybe I should just make a page about that and put it in a random book. It doesn't have to go to my December daily. But anyway, I thought it was funny. And one of those moments where I was like, okay, like I could see like finding a story in a day. But this is also what, the 7th, and this is the only day I've been like, oh, here's my story. Yeah, so I prefer planning ahead of time what my stories are going to be. But I don't know, I just found that ironic that I was like, I could have used this. Oh well. But our heat's back on. The house is warm again. We're all good. And it is what it is, right? So, okay, so this is, let me see. That's a sign you've been home too much. The house no longer recognizes your movements. Probably, yes. And also, Lindsay, I took a picture of my mugs too. So I took a picture of my sweaters and my mugs. I also collect Santas. So I took a picture of a bunch of Santas, and then we collect kids' Christmas books. So I took a picture of some of the books that we have. I think that was it. And then someday, it's always been a dream of mine to collect some kind of like Christmas village, but I don't have a Christmas village. I don't even have one Christmas village house, not even one. But maybe someday, All right, so let's go ahead and get you guys turned around and I'll show you what we are working on today, which is we're gonna be doing we're doing story number 6 and story number 7. So let's go ahead and get to work. Okay. Oh, wait. I always forget to do airplane mode. So let me do that, and then we'll get situated. All right, there we go. So I should do that tomorrow, just pivot. I already have that one done though. I don't know, I gotta think about it. Just be spontaneous and change the plan. I don't know. I have no picture. I wish I would have taken a picture of the kids eating breakfast by the fire, because that would have been funny, but I didn't do that. Or a picture of the thermostat saying that it's 58 degrees in our house. But I didn't do that either because I was in the shower. We'll see. Maybe it'll show up. Maybe it'll show up. All right, so this story. So story number 6 is home decor. Yay. So what I've got set up in my foundation pages are just this plain white piece of cardstock. That's going to be the home for a bunch of photos and journaling. And then I had also created this star element. So there are 2 pieces to the star. Let's put this back over here. Ouch. There are 2 pieces to the star. One that is the title piece with the number, and then it opens to the inside, and then the back side where I had lines pre-drawn in order to add my journaling. So I did go ahead and add journaling onto this part, but I didn't do it onto that part yet because some of those are going to be cut apart. So this photo is actually going to be this star right here. So I printed a star photo. This photo in particular is a tray on my table or dining table where I purchased a couple of these little ceramic white houses. I've got some trees and a candle, and I like how you can see beyond the table to the fireplace back behind it. So I've got like the stockings hanging on the fireplace, and this is like essentially the only decor we have out right now is like our table setting, and some of the fireplace is done. Actually, I mean, really the fireplace is done. It's probably done for this year. Next year I might do something a little bit more grand. We shall see. But yeah, that is that. So the star is going to go on the star, and all of the other ones are going to go on a grid type of layout. So I'm going to trim this one out. I decided after I printed a bunch of them out that I actually wanted one more. So let's cut this out and then we'll go from there. All right. Yo. All right. Etienne, your mom collected the Hallmark house ornaments. Aw. There's just something so special about the things that we collect, especially when it comes to holiday time. I don't know, there's just something really magical about that. And I think that's part of why Christmas seems so special, is because we have so many of these like special things that we have accumulated. And I actually was just talking to my mom about this morning when I dropped Jonah off. When my grandma was alive, she was somebody who collected a lot of special things. And she put them all in, not all, but she put a bunch of things, a bunch of really like ornate plates and cups and stuff into this china cabinet that had glass shelves. And they lived like in Germany for a time, and like just traveled a lot because my grandpa was in the military. So they had stuff from Germany that they had brought back, and like this case was just filled with all of these things that had sentimental value. Well, one day the top shelf, something happened where it fell. And so the top shelf fell and then proceeded to fall onto all of the shelves underneath that. And she was devastated because so many of those things were just crushed and gone. And she had confided that in a friend. I don't remember if the friend was over at the time when it happened. My mom just told me this story this morning. So I don't know. I wasn't there for it. But the friend reprimanded her for putting, too much significance in things, in material things. And I was telling my mom, I was like, stuff isn't just stuff. Like the things that we have that have so much sentimental value to us isn't because the item itself is worth a bunch of money. It's not because we accumulate and therefore our stuff becomes our wealth. It has value because there are memories associated to it. Like the stuff that we own are our memories. And that is what, she was mourning the loss of, not just these things, And so I think when it comes to times like Christmas or a special holiday where we have these things that come out for, the only time that year, and we have these opportunities to remember those memories associated with them, I think that's part of the magic of this time of year. So while I was talking there, I've added on these. So these I'm going to put on here like a brick wall sort of deal. I have printed photos to fit into the bottom sections of 6 of them, which is going to leave me 4 more that I'm just going to add some handwritten journaling into. So, and then there'll be a little piece over here that I'm not going to add anything into because that's just going to be holes, essentially. So I think what I'll do first is maybe get the photos attached onto these pieces, and then we will attach down the rest of this stuff and then go from there. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So we'll start with this one. I collect calories. Caleb, that's hysterical. You could make a story out of that. I think that would be really funny. Like, take a picture of all of the things you like to eat the most or drink the most this time of year. And that's your collectibles. That would be pretty funny. Just saying. Okay, so I'm going to use this so I don't get any, like, mystery adhesive on my photos. Because I need to clean this thing. So I'll tell you what I took pictures of as I'm sticking it all on here. So this one right here is a blanket that I purchased in Mexico. It's a Mexican blanket. The reason I have been wanting a Mexican blanket for so long because my sister-in-law has them and they are so warm without being super heavy. Like they're just awesome. So when we went to Mexico, I really wanted to find one. They had them at the resort, but the, I don't know, our kids were just really a handful in the marketplace. So we just didn't stay. We didn't get one. Well, right as we were getting ready to go to the gate at our airport, at the airport to leave, there was a gift shop that had a whole bunch of them. So I ran over there and I found one that was black and red and like white and gray. So it just kind of had a Christmassy feel to it. And I snagged it. So I got myself a Mexican blanket. I purposefully got it in colors that would work for Christmas time because I wanted to put it out this time of year. So that is a picture of the blanket like draped over my couch. Then, so that's going to go there. You know, maybe I will like, okay, let's just kind of do that and that and that, that. Yes. Okay, so then I'm going to put this right here so that it needs a little space in between. Maybe like that. And I'm just eyeballing this. And then the other piece is going to go on the other side. Okay, so then you're going to go over here. Okay, so then we've got that one, and this will be hole punched. So I'm not worried about anything going into this. You know, it's whatever. Okay, so then this one is a picture of this like milk tray or milk box, which that is basically like a wooden box where they had slots in them where they could put the milk bottles. This was not like an actual milk box. This is just one I found at Michael's, I think last year or the year before that. So this is not like a vintage thing or anything like that. I just like the look of it. It says Claus and Company on it, and this is where we put all of our controllers, so like our video game controllers and our TV controller and all that kind of stuff, coasters for drinks, and it just goes in the living room. But I like it, and so I took a picture of it because why not? Because it's one of the only things that I have out right now. Okay, so that is going to go here in the middle. Oh, okay. I think later today I'm going to paint my nails a different color. So my nail polish is chipping off real bad. And yet I still stuck this in adhesive somehow. What the heck? Well, it kind of came off. All right, so this one is going to go here in the middle. Make sure there's nothing on here. Okay. This is just this little, let me see how much. I'm going to trim a little bit off of that actually. But it's just this little like wooden sign that says, "Have yourself a Merry Christmas." I got it like 3 years ago or something at Target in the dollar aisle. And I really like it. It's cute. And again, I figured, why not? It's one of the only things I have out right now, so why not? I don't know. I like it. You know, the thing is I normally have this curio cabinet, like almost like a china cabinet that is small, that I usually put a bunch of our decorations into, especially the breakable ones. But I don't have anywhere to put it in this new house. So it's right now in the garage. And then all the decorations that would normally go on it or in it don't really have a home right now. I figure what I'll probably do with them in the future is use them to decorate some bookcases. But I haven't had a chance to put up any bookcases in the living room yet. And the bookcases in Erin's office are currently standing in as our pantry, because our pantry project is nowhere near done. But maybe we'll get some work on it done this weekend. Maybe. We'll see. It's hard. House projects are really hard to do, especially in the holidays when lots of stuff is happening. So, you know, it's likely that we won't get to it. I'm going to see how much room am I going to have here. Like, should I be putting more space? Nope, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine. Okay, so we got that. And then the rest of this one will come over here. These are little like 2x2 story cards. No, sorry, 2x3 story cards that were part of the Star mini kit from last year. So these are leftovers from previous years, which is good. It makes me happy to get it back out and actually use them. Okay. So there's that. All right, and then we're gonna do another, so I'll probably write this one. I'm gonna write in as well. Actually, I think I'll start with the green just to get it spaced right on here. I'm putting my sticker on that. Oh no. You want the promise ring, and so do your sisters. Oh no. Yes. So Erin's grandma, his grandma Tita, has collected Christmas houses, like a Christmas village, for years. And when they, what the heck, why is there, I have been very careful about tape. Anyways, this way. Anyway, so she collects Christmas houses, and they're beautiful. And normally they are, like, they live in Michigan, and we normally go and see them for the holidays, but they're actually staying with my husband's aunt and uncle in Connecticut. So we haven't seen them in a really long time, which is sad because they're both getting pretty old. And it's good for them to like be with somebody who can help take care of them, but also it's really sad to not see them. Anyway, she collects those Christmas villages and typically has her entire house decorated. Like they have shelves. I mean, think of, like, their house is really cluttered. So it's like, you know, an older person's home that's just like, it's really small and it's filled with so much stuff, like pictures on every inch of the wall, and shelves, like photo shelves or whatever on walls everywhere. And at Christmas time, she decorates all of it with her houses. So she puts them like on top of her piano and on top of her TV cabinet and on all of the shelves on the walls. And there's like a half wall in like part of the hallway. So like from the hallway, you can see into the living room, and they're all on there, and it's just like houses everywhere. And I really, 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 really hope that someday she will hand those down to her grandkids, because I want them, you know, because I selfishly want them because I want a Christmas village, but even more so because they were hers and they are hers, you know. And that's just one of those things that I think that over the years is going to have, like in later years when they're no longer here, those are going to have so much meaning. But yeah, so I get that. I get that of being like, okay, now listen, I don't want you gone or anything. Like, I want you to live as long as you possibly can. But I also just want to put it out there that I love your Christmas houses. Okay, so this is going to go back over there again. Okay. All right, so then this, and for whatever reason, I missed some of the white. Chop that off. So let's see, so I did this one here, which is a picture of my dining table from like a top view. So just another picture of the same spot. And then this one is actually a picture of these two gold deer. I don't know if you can see that. They're like yay big, like they're maybe as big as my hand. And they were my grandparents. So there are some things in my Christmas decorations that I have received from my grandpa after my grandma passed away. So she passed back in 2009, would have been 2009. Because I graduated college in 2010. It was my senior year of college. And I want to say maybe near 10 years after she had been gone, it might have been like at 10 years, my mom hosted all of our family. So my cousins and my aunt and uncle, my siblings and I, and then my grandpa. And my grandpa brought all of the ornaments and the Christmas decorations that they would put up around their house. Partially because it was, you know, I'm sure it was kind of painful for him to put that up when that was really like her thing. And partially because he just, you know, he's not somebody who's gonna like decorate his whole house. We weren't really going over there for Christmas anymore. He was coming to my mom's house or my aunt's house. So he brought tubs and tubs and tubs of Christmas stuff to my mom's house, and we each got to take turns. Like we drew a number out of a hat, and that determined our order. And then we got to go around the room, and they like set everything out on all of the surfaces and the floors and the counters and like everything. And so we would go one at a time and go pick something for something to come home into our family for us to like inherit. So we did that, and we kept doing that until everything was gone. So a portion of the things that I have for decorating at Christmas time are actually things that I have from my grandparents that that were passed on to us. So these deer are one of those things. They are one of my favorite things. I remember exactly where she used to put them in her house. We would always go over there on Christmas Day after we had opened presents at our own house. And I know exactly what table, what room. They were usually next to a bowl of candy. And now they go every year on my fireplace mantle is where I've got them. And I position them so it looks like they're eating one of the pine trees. Because that makes sense to me that they would eat that. Okay, so then this, I'm going to put here. And this is a picture of the tree in my office or my studio. Which I think I will position here and then cut off the other side. It's going to go like that. And then like that. And I'll go there. Okay. All right, so we'll get that on there. I'm gonna cut this piece off, and then that will complete this grid thing. Now, if you have something like this where you've got these 2x3 little sections, or if you're wanting to just create a grid kind of like this, but you have a lot more photos or maybe more stories that you want to tell related to home decor, you could also turn these into flip ups. Like I could have added a tiny hinge underneath the photo, and then it could have flipped up and had maybe another photo or maybe a whole thing of journaling underneath to tell the story of whatever that item is. For me this year, I decided I didn't want this to be interactive in that way. I just wanted to have some places to write and some places to have photos. I will probably add my journaling afterwards just because it's really hard for me to write while being watched. Which I'm sure you guys can understand that. So I'm going to write this later, and then I will share images of this on the post. So you'll be able to see what I said there. But I did pre-write my journaling for the star part. But basically what I'm going to add on here is exactly what I just told you about. So like, you know, where'd this Mexican blanket come from? Why do I have it? And then, you know, this one will probably be about some of the items that I picked up the last couple of years and how, you know, I don't have a whole lot out right now. It's probably what that story will be. I'll do a story about the deer, just a little blurb about those guys. And then maybe a little bit about my table settings, because I did get some new table setting stuff this year. I normally have these really pretty plaid plates and some cups that have like a car with a Christmas tree on top, but all of it is glass. And right now, I don't think my nerves could take anything breaking. And we just seem to have really bad luck right now, so I'm not pushing it. So this year I got plastic plates and plastic cups. And now I don't have to worry about my kids breaking anything. It will be totally fine. So I'll probably tell that story about getting some plastic stuff from Target for my table this year. And also, alternatively, I could also talk about how I got this wooden tray. It's like, it's got feet on it, essentially. It's like a rectangle tray with these 2 feet, so it sets up on the table. You can kind of see it right here, and you can definitely see it in this photo. It's right here. I got that this year, and I have really enjoyed having that on my table as a home for seasonal decor, because, you know, moving into this house, first of all, it's really hard to figure out how the heck to decorate a new house. It just feels really overwhelming. Whether that's decorating for a season or just decorating in general, just it's very overwhelming. So I bought that tray thing, and that's like the one thing that I've decorated for the seasons and enjoyed it, and not been like, oh, what am I going to do with this? You know, it's like a new spot that feels kind of good. So I might talk about the tray. I don't know. Something like that. But basically I'm going to just use these lines to add my journaling. I always do better with handwriting when I have a predetermined space to write in with lines. So lines it is. Those I'm going to leave blank, because when I hole punch this, you'll see there will be no point, because nothing will fit there. So I just need my hole punch. We'll take care of that, and then we'll do the star. So squish that down in here. Yeah, see how there's like holes in the middle of that? There's no point in putting anything there. So that'll be that. Okay. So there's that portion. Now let's do this star. So what I'm going to do here is trim out the star first. And then we're going to adhere it to this. Essentially what I did is I took the piece, hold on a second. I took the piece here, and all I did is I just like replicated it. Like I took one, I made a copy of it, I flipped it, and then I put them together and merged that into one shape. So that gave me the star shape. To make it easier, number one, to adhere them back to back, but also so that I could make sure my photo was positioned the way I wanted it to be, instead of trying to guess, you know, what was going to be visible and what wasn't. Thinking I'll do this half. Maybe I'll go with this part. Or maybe I'll just do the whole thing. Why not? Okay. Okay, so there is that. Etienne, I just saw your comment about inheriting a year's supply of sanitary napkins and 50 reusable bags. That's hilarious. Wait, Caleb, your grandpa burned everything? That is so sad. I'm like in shock right now. That's so sad. Okay. Holy crap. Yeah, that's so sad. Oh my God. Oh. Inherited belongings is a boring story because nobody argued and everything was split fairly. No ho hum. Hey, you know what? I would take that no ho hum with, yes, that's the best. That's the way you want it to be. That's kind of how ours was too. Like nobody was arguing over anything. We're all fine. And it just was kind of like a magical thing. Like it was so sad, but you know, it was also really, really special. I still can't believe he burned everything. I can't believe that. I can't believe that. I don't even know what I would do. Okay, so this is going, no. This is going to go here. All right, so I'm going to put this one on first. What? A brother is a cute, this is so great. Okay, wait, first of all, do you have a template for a start? Lindsay, I don't, but I can whip one together real quick. Let me just take what I did here and I'll turn it like all black. So it's just like one piece and I'll stick it on the post for today. So I'll probably do that once I get off of the live. So yeah, I'll make a template real quick because that's not that hard for me to do. What else? I want a photo box to take photographs of items around the house before. So you're, Millie, you're like, I like that idea to like take pictures of all the things. Make sure I got this on the right. Yeah, okay. So you're going to go here. Okay, so we're gonna do that. And then I'm just gonna cut this in half. A brother, okay. A brother is accused of killing his sister and her brother here over their, wait, what? I can't even wrap my head around this. A sister and her boyfriend. Oh, okay. Over their deceased mother. Holy cow. Millie, that's insane. That's insane. People go crazy when, like, it's so sad, but it's so common that people just kind of like go nuts when parents pass away, like the kids. I don't know. Luckily, my mom and her brothers, like, everybody was fine, just really sad. But I had, like, when my great aunt passed away, her kids, just like, it was a complete disaster. Complete disaster. Where, like, none of the kids even, they don't talk to each other anymore. We used to see them for, like, holidays and stuff. I haven't seen them in easily 10 years. Like, it just went crazy. So yeah, that's nuts. People are nuts. All right, so there we go. So now I've got my 2 pieces of the star. So you can see how that looks when they're together. And then I just need to go ahead and hole punch these. So I think what I'll do is I'm gonna use my power punch for that, because this is not gonna go inside of that because I have that chipboard thing there. I love that you all had a favorite thing and nobody else wanted it. That is, like, perfect. That's how you want things to turn out, right? Start recording. So she's got so many generations in her kids. Okay, so Caleb, I don't remember when it was, but on one of the Zooms a couple months back, somebody was talking about how their, I don't remember who it was, if it was like a grandma or an aunt but somebody inherited this, like, notebook where I don't know if it was a grandma, it might have been a grandma, where the grandma recorded everything she could remember about each of the people in her family. So, like, parents and aunts and all that stuff. And so when that was inherited, now the person, gosh, I can't remember who it was, has all of these stories about their family that I was like, that is the coolest thing. To have all those stories, you know? Like, what an amazing gift. Okay, this is totally going to cut into some of my words. Well, that's going to be okay, I think. Just going to try to cut off as little of my words as possible here. So I did not realize I did not use a power punch for this originally. That's okay. That. Oh, and when I went in, when was that? November. It was November, because I went to go get my hair done right before my sister's wedding. And when I was at the salon getting my hair done, there was this other lady, and she was an older lady. I know she was like a grandma, but I don't know. I'm sure her grandchildren weren't that old, but, you know, she was older. And she was telling me how her friends, and they're all, like, retired, and, you know, they have this group of friends that they've been friends forever, that every week, well, first of all, they all bought this book that's like, I don't even know, like one of those books that's like one story a day or something like that. You know the ones that are like, you can buy them at gift shops and stuff, and they're intended for people to, like, write down their stories. And a lot of times, like, you get those either as a gift or you give it as a gift with the best of intentions, and then nobody ever does anything with it. those types of books. So she and her friends, men and women, all bought this book. And as a collective group, every week they are assigned to write down one story related to like one of the pages. And then they meet together for coffee on like Sundays or something and share their stories in their group. So I was talking to her about how I scrapbook, and that's like my thing. And she's like, what is a scrapbook? And, you know, the old scrapbooks that I know of were like the Creative Memories style, or, you know, Creative Keepsake style. And I was like, oh, no, it's very different. I mean, that still exists. That's still around. But there's a lot of different ways, and it's very story based. And I'm like, what you're doing is so cool. I'm like, the fact that you are meeting up with your friends, that you are writing down your stories, that it's you, that it's women and it's men, and then you're sharing them together. I'm like, that is the most special thing I've ever heard. I'm like, I love it. Don't stop doing that, you know? It's so cool. Like your grandchildren, hand those down to your grandchildren someday, because they will want to know that stuff. You know, it's so cool. All right, so let me show you how this is going to look, and then we'll work on the next story. So this is number 6. These I'm going to fill out, right? But otherwise it looks like this. So we've got the star here, and then it opens. You know what? I'm going to stick one of these on here as well, because that way it's easier to flip it. So I'm thinking I'll put one here on the top side. Make sure, yeah, I'm gonna put one on the top side like that. And then, yes, stick down. So one up here, and then one on this side for the bottom. That way we can recognize that there are 2 pages here to look at, because otherwise sometimes with photos they get a little sticky togethery. So that way we know that this actually opens. Come on. When the album is flipped through later on. Okay. So there's that. And I'll probably stick, I should probably put something in there. So let's grab these. Okay, so let me grab some tiny freeze stickers, and we'll figure out what we can put in here. Some thinking. That I might want like a red one. What do I got? See if I got anything that makes any kind of sense. Maybe be merry, maybe comfort. Like if I put comfort here, and then maybe like moments on the back. I wonder if that would just fit in like that. Or do I need to trim you? Oh no, you'll fit. Okay, so we got comfort, moments, and then maybe I'll do green on the other one. So we could do maybe twinkle and wonder, sure. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to stick that in here. Apparently the other way. Yeah. Or, you know. You can do it. I believe in you. Okay, there we go. Okay, so then we've got the 2 there and the 2 there. Then we'll fill that out later. Okay, so that is going to complete this one. You know, wonder if I have like no. None of that. No, too big. All right, I just wanted to see if there was anything that I'd want to put in there. Better not pout. Or bah humbug, since it's totally, I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I put something here or just leave it? This kind of lets me see, I can see into the living room. I think I'm just gonna leave it. Oops, that goes somewhere else. I like the way that that looks with something there, but I also like the way that it looks without it. And I think since it's cool without it, I'm just gonna leave it. All right, so let's move on to story 7, which is going to go inside. Well, I guess I can leave these in here for now. So it's going to go in between these 2 pages. Come on. Like right here. So this one is an ornament story. Don't need that anymore. I don't need this anymore. So this is an ornament story. Every year I pick one ornament and I tell the story of that ornament. So this year, I don't even have my tree up yet or any ornaments out. So I pulled out a box of ornaments and just like picked out one of the ones at the top. And the one I picked is this one. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it. You'll be able to see it in the picture. But essentially it's this glass ball. Actually, it might be a plastic ball. I actually think it's plastic. And it's got this like foil detail on the top and the bottom. And inside is this tree that's also made from like sequin type foil. And it's got these little like balls on it and then these little flower petals on it. And it's really pretty and delicate, just delicate looking. So what I did is I took it over to my mom's house this morning because I needed to drop off Jonah. And also I really wanted to take a picture of it with a blurry tree behind it. And as I said, we don't have a tree up right now. So I was like, I'm going to bring my ornament over to my mom's house and I'm just going to stage this photo with her tree. So that's totally what I did. So here is the photo that I have of the ornament. So this is the ornament, right? And then the tree behind it is all blurred out. And I actually had 2 pictures I was debating between. One where the tree was a little bit easier to see, like you could actually see more of the pine needles. It wasn't as blurry. And then I had this one that was a lot more blurry. I ended up going with this one because it allows the ornament to be the showstopper for the photo. So this side of the layout is just going to be the photo. I'm not going to add any embellishments to it. I'm just going to hole punch it and put it in the album. And that is going to be this side. The opposite side, I am going to embellish with a bunch of different tags, which is why I wanted this picture to have a very specific orientation for that reason, because I knew that half of the photo, I was going to completely cover, and the other half I wanted to be the featured ornament. So I'll kind of show you what that's going to look like once I get this one trimmed out as well. Okay. This is always a favorite story in every single album for December Daily for me. In fact, one of the things I would like to do is to make an entire album that is dedicated to the ornaments that we have on our tree, and specifically to the ones that my kids are accumulating throughout their years, because they all have special meaning based on either where we got them from or the reason why we got them. And I thought that that would be such a cool collection of stories to have. So like the ones that Aaron and I got, and then the ones that our kids got. So then I've got a bunch of these tags here to pull out. That's going to be my number. That's going to be that. Put this back away. Don't need it anymore. So the left side of this is going to be a collage. Oh, and Risa, the number for the story number 6 is on the outside of that star, which I can bring that back over and show you here in a second. So it was already there. Okay, so my plan for this, no, you go here, is to have these like all on the photo. I should probably hole punch this though, so I know where these all go. So it's going to be all these tags and then the photo to this side. So that's why this side, it didn't matter if it was just all blurry. Personal collection by year, something that happened or something I loved. Millie, that is exactly what we do too. So like 2 years ago, or it's either something that happened that year or something that we loved about that year, or if all else fails, I collect Santas. So a lot of times I get a Santa ornament. I almost feel like I should get a Santa ornament and I should get something having to do with that year. And like have no shame about that. Like, do I need 2 ornaments every year? No, I don't. But also, yes, I kind of do. So maybe that needs to start happening. Like, okay, we're going to continue the Santa collection, but also we're going to get something that's got meaning for the year. So 2 years ago, I got a camera to signify, that was the first year that I did like I don't even think I had a YouTube at the time. It wasn't YouTube. It was my Instagram. Like I started sharing, that was like the first real year of Instagram for me. So I got a camera to signify that was something that I was really into. And look at this, a couple years later, still really into it. But it had significance. And that year was also the year that, was it that year? There was a year that Aaron put the tree on the inside of the car instead of the outside of the car, which I'm sure you've all heard the story. And so his ornament that year was a car with the tree on top. So it was like a remembrance of just that being really, really silly. I'm thinking, okay, so we put these back on here. So what I'm thinking is I definitely want to put twine inside of the tags. It's just a question of what color twine. So this is going to go on like this. Maybe I'll just do black and white. This is my favorite twine of all time. I just love black and white. I don't know. It's very classic. and I just love it. So we're going to go with black and white. And then my number is going to go on this heart. So I've got like this cardstock white number 7. Actually, I kind of like that. I like the scale of that better than the scale of that. So never mind. I made my choice. Tasha just got 5 ornaments this year. She's nuts. She always does like a lot of ornaments every year. I remember, maybe was it last year or the year before, that she had, her story was about going to Target for like bagels, and she ended up going home with no bagels and a bag full of ornaments. And you know what? Here's the thing. If you run out of room for ornaments on your tree, that just means that you just need another tree. It's time to get some more. Okay, so I've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. Hey, Mallory. What is specials? What does that mean? Your kids are at specials? For any trips you take. So Danielle, my little sister, she really likes to travel too. Haley, I think she might still be on here right now, but she and her husband, well, okay, so I should preempt this by saying that we're all a little crazy about Christmas in my family. So my sister has like 4 trees or something this year. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Haley, if you're still on here. She's got like 3 or 4 trees, and one of the trees is solely dedicated to ornaments that they get when they travel. That's like the thing they collect when they travel places. And I think that's such a cool idea. And then to have like an entire tree that's kind of like a memory, you know, of the places you've been and all that. I think that's super cool. I haven't been enough places right now to do a whole tree, but you know, maybe if we start collecting. I did get a couple of ornaments from Mexico when we were there, although technically those are for the kids. So they each got an ornament. I didn't get one for myself. I should have got one for myself. That was dumb. Well, I guess maybe there'll be a next time. I think that's fun. Yes, little decorated trees in their rooms. I love that. The kids love that too, don't they? I know we put some trees in their room. So actually, when I say there's no tree in this house, that's kind of a lie, because I've got like the tiny one in here, but then the kids have little ones too in their rooms, which they love. They're always looking forward to that every year. So it's really cool. Do they have like, do they do them themed for their trees in their bedroom? Or you need a bigger, you're trying to get a 12-foot tree at the end. That's amazing. When they go to PE or art. Oh, right, because you're teaching right now. Duh. Specials. You know, I think that's what they call them for our school too. I think. I don't remember. But yeah, yay. Yay for specials. Main tree, a craft tree. Yes. In our old house, we used to have a, I don't really know how to add twine to this. We're going to figure this out. We used to have a tree in the basement that, maybe this just needs to be a bow, actually. Sorry, thinking this through as I'm doing it. Is this enough string to do a bow? I'm gonna try this. This is like an older wooden tag from Colorcast from like last year, I think. So it's like I almost need, what if I did, what if we did maybe something like this instead? Because I don't really want to bulk this. I mean, it's got all this twine, but still, I don't want to add too much bulk into this, you know? Okay, get in there. So I'm going to see what happens if I use embroidery floss to tie a bow, and then this gives me a pop of red as well. Okay. Okay, so let's kind of gauge that. I kind of like that. Whoops, a little bit of red, and these I gotta trim all down once I get them on there. I think that's good. Okay, so move that out of the way. We just got to get everything adhered down. Didn't do that in all the places you've been so far. Might have to just get them and catch up. Yeah, nobody will know that you didn't get it when you were there, you know? I say yes to that. I think a travel tree is so cool because, like, so here's the thing, right? As we were talking about earlier, our stuff has meaning because there are memories associated to it. And when we travel, you know, those become some of the greatest stories of our lives. And so to have, whether it's a tree or just some ornaments on a tree dedicated to those stories where you can pull them out once every year and pass those stories around, you know, I think that's so cool. So it's definitely something I am considering for us as well, even though we don't travel that much, but we still like, even it could work even for the small places. Like every year we go to Saugatuck in Michigan to do a trip with our family. And I'm like, that could, you know, that counts. That's travel. I could totally get some ornaments for that, you know, and even like if Aaron and I someday go and do a weekend trip out on the west side of the state, because we love going out there and going to all the breweries and all that stuff. And we haven't done that in years because, you know, COVID and whatnot. But it would be nice when we go back, like, why not get an ornament while we're there? It's not like it's a trip that we take once in our lifetime, but still it's a place that has special meaning for us and stories associated to it. I saw this post today on Instagram from Kelly Ishmael. So she's Kelly-ish on Instagram. And first of all, we just have to say that her photography is just off the charts. Amazing. She's such an amazing photographer. And, you know, goodness, I wish I could take photos like her. Second of all, she posted about putting up the Christmas tree and decorating it, and how she gets really emotional during that time, that it's just like pulling things out and remembering all of those moments, that it's just kind of like a scrapbook, or it's kind of like memory keeping or scrapbooking, that these little pieces, these little treasures that we put on the tree are pieces of who we are and who we've been. And I was like, man, that's just like so poetic. And also at the same time, it's true, right? Our Christmas trees are basically kind of like a scrapbook in a sense, you know, like a living, breathing scrapbook of our lives and how precious that is. Anyway, she just posted that today, and I thought that was a really inspired thing to say. Okay, so the nice thing about this one is it is adhesive backed, except I tied the twine there. So where are, maybe I'll use these guys. Just trim that part off. Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. Then I can just adjust and place. Okay. So last thing I need to do is just trim these guys down a little bit. I don't want to do it too much where they are gonna like fall off the page, or, you know, like come undone. But I also don't want them to be too far off. Okay, here we go. So this is story number 7. So I'm going to put this in the album. We'll read through the journaling, and then that is going to be that for today. Oops. And I need to journal the last couple of bits in that story for decor. Which I'll do that here in a second. All right. Let's pull this back up here. Okay. All right, so Lindsay, I saw your comment about the coffee thing. I have one for my computer desk because the same thing happens and it does keep it warm. It doesn't make it taste bad unless it sits there for like way too long, and then it will like cooks it too much that it tastes bad. But that's kind of how it is in a coffee pot too, right? Where it's got a warmer. If it sits for too long, it cooks it until it's bitter. So I have one for my computer desk, but I never even considered having one for my craft table too. That's not a bad idea. They're not super expensive, so I'm gonna think on that. That's so funny. What else? Let me just... All right, I'm seeing what else we got here. So oh, the ones they've gotten over the years. Okay. Danielle, I just read your comment about their ornaments on their trees. Going to be at a family's house. He wanted to decorate a tree so bad. Oh, that's so cute, Risa. And he put that tree up every year, even in his dorm room. Oh, that's gonna make me that makes me like teary-eyed. Center the ornaments. You'll have more space for twine on the left. Yeah, I could have. The reason I didn't is because if I moved this over, then the point, this one wouldn't fit as well. So it's like, meh, whatever. It's outside the page protector. Yes, exactly. Let's see. We started when we got married. We bought our first on our honeymoon. Big trips and small trips. Local places you love. Yes, I love that. Ornaments for our zoo Danielle, why haven't I ever done that? I should have been getting an ornament at our zoo every year. Well, okay, we're going there for Wild Lights. So when we do that, I'm starting that this year. That's so silly of me. I should have been doing that all along. And yes, Risa, you should tell that story. That's just beautiful. Yes. Yeah, so Terry, I read your comment about hot coffee. So I have one of those, like, it's a Contigo mugs, and I love it because it keeps my coffee hot for like 12 hours. Like, it's so long, but they're amazing. And a lot of times when I know I'm going to be like engrossed in my work all day and not drinking my coffee, sometimes I bring that up here because it just keeps it hot, you know? And they're amazing. They're so amazing. You trace your kids' hands at a picture around their birthdays every year since they were 1. They write their names and their ages on the back too. It's the best. I love it. I love, 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 love. Hey, Mallory. See you later. Hope to see you tomorrow. Yes. Okay, so bring it home and finish it there. Yeah, exactly, right? Exactly, because it just keeps it hot all day. All right, so let's read these stories, you guys, and then that will be that for today. So story number 6. So here's the 6 right here on the outside of the star. We open it up. We've got the picture. We close that up. And then the journaling that I have so far says this. I don't know what's up with me this year, but I'm having a hard time getting into the mood to decorate the house. I finally cleaned and got the dining table set up, put some decor and stockings on the fireplace. It feels a lot better and much more like Christmas around here. This week, I'm hoping to get the fake tree set up in Aaron's office, and we are finally going to go get our main real tree. I hope next year I'll be able to have my mom come and help me. It's hard to know where to start with a new home. We will do what we can. And then over here, we'll put about the Mexican blanket, about the random stuff, about the table, and about the deer. So that's what we'll fill in those spots. Then for the ornament story, this one I did in 2 parts. So I actually took this with me this morning to my mom's house and asked her, well, first of all, I needed her tree to take a picture. But second of all, I asked her if she knew anything more about this particular ornament. And she's like, I don't, sorry. Because what I wanted to do is if she had any kind of memory with it, I was going to have her handwrite something on one of these tags, and I brought them with me just in case. But she's like, yeah, I don't remember anything about that one. So I was like, okay, well, what can you tell me in general about ornaments from Graham? So she told me that Graham, my grandma, used to, and I'll read this because this is exactly what she said. Graham used to love shopping in the boutique-style decor stores. Mom thinks she likely found this ornament in one such shop, perhaps in Birmingham or from Frankenmuth. She loved finding the most special ornaments. This one has a beautiful, delicate foil tree in the center of the bulb. I'm sure this is what caught her eye, just like it caught mine. And then in the second tag, I said, after Graham passed away, Grandpa thought it would be special to pass on their Christmas decorations to the kids and grandkids. We each took turns choosing the pieces that would become ours. This ornament was one of the ones I loved and chose. And so it's not like a real big grand story of this ornament, but it does kind of talk about origin and then how it came to be in our family, which I thought was an important enough story to tell. So that's that. Number 6 and number 7 is in the books. Tomorrow we're going to be working on story number 8, which is 10 things. Well, it's 1 through 10 of I love Christmas because ... which will be I like stories like that encourage you to think about the really positive parts of a season. And then later on in the month, we're going to do the opposite of I dislike Christmas because sometimes it's also nice to put it out there, the things that are annoying about a specific period of time. Or at least, it's the opposite part, the yin and the yang of the story. All right, friends, well, that is it for today. I will see you back here tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Until then, I hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I will see you guys later. Bye, friends.